Here are the major changes and updates to Ready or Not, the 1.0 release. Gameplay. Commander Mode. Commander Mode is our immersive Ready or Not single-player experience. The mode acts to tie together all elements of the game's existing design, as well as introducing new features centered around progression and replayability. Iron Man Mode. A permadeath-style option for hardcore players. Once you're dead, your save is deleted. There are cosmetic rewards for completing this mode. Exfiltration Mechanic. In order to quit a mission early without accruing as much stress to their officers, players must exfil from their spawn point, being sure to first backtrack safely. Save slots. 3 save slots have been added that will allow players to experiment with different runs or for multiple users on one PC. Stress System. A metagame stress system that punishes the team for acting outside of the use of force continuum, or otherwise putting lives in danger. Officers at high stress will have to be benched and put on therapy, or be at risk of leaving the team permanently. Officer Traits. 12 modifiers that affect your officer or team composition to benefit your select playstyle. Traits become available for each respective officer as you play missions with them. New SWAT AI. A remarkable next-generation AI system capable of clearing rooms in a truly lifelike fashion, built from the ground up by working closely with our SWAT advisory team. New AI and team commands. A number of new commands are now available for ordering AI and now your friends around. Officers will be able to order surrendered and arrested targets to turn around, move to a marked position, or move to the officer's location. AI can be told to run to the nearest exit and flee the location. They will be automatically arrested upon arrival there. Commands are now able to be used in cooperative so players without microphones can communicate a little easier with their other teammates. Police Trailer Units. Automated trailer units have also been added, which are police units that come in after a mission to collect arrested contacts and any relevant people or items. This will occur when Bring Order to Chaos is completed. New tablet system. Objectives and other elements of the UI that were previously non-diegetic have been moved to the tablet, which is able to be opened by pressing Tab by default. After selecting a mission, players can listen to a situation briefing and 911 calls, receive a list of objectives relevant to the mission, preview images that might provide some insight into the threat level, read through a list of known suspects and civilians, access whatever maps the LSPD has available on the location with the ability to draw and make plans with your team. Players can now preview their team cameras and loadouts in this tablet, as well as chat with other players using a built-in screen. New level selection screen with updated visuals and entry point selection. Ability to pick which mission type to play a level on has been removed due to limitations with design and testing and to avoid narrative conflicts. New evidence locker. Collectibles in the evidence locker will become available as different missions are completed. Each mission has 3. One for B, one for A, one for S. The collectibles will often point to elements of the story or allude to other details. 15 Steam achievements. 15 challenging achievements are available to completionist players upon release. Replay Viewer. Missions can be replayed using a viewer that is accessible in the main menu. This viewer allows for players to change camera aperture settings, color grading settings, focal length, spline paths, and speed. A timeline also exists which can be scrubbed back and forth. The selection UI for replays is currently work in progress, but can be used. Replays are accessible from Commander, Cooperative, and Practice Mode gameplay. Will also work with mods. Visuals. New character customization. Allows players to change boots, shirts, pants, armor, gloves, wristwear, heads, tattoos, voices, facewear, NVGs, gas masks, and helmets, along with mod support for players. New characters added. Over 175 new characters have been added to the game for suspects, civilians, and other NPCs. Overhauled visual effects. All visual effects have been completely redone. This includes 3D muzzle flashes, impact effects, spalling, destruction, flashbangs, CS gas, pepper spray, OC launcher impacts, tracers, C2 breaches, and much more. Tip screens for new players in the Los Sueños police station. Information about new unlocks will also be available to see here. Replaced a large number of placeholder assets with more bespoke, custom assets with better optimization. Headcam perspective now includes the officer's helmet. Low ready toggle. New options to set high and low ready. Animations. New death animations. Added 100 plus death animations, different limbs, arterial bleeds, etc. General animation improvements for footsteps, polish, removal, and some sliding. Audio. Quantum Sound Manager. New system that supports accurate reflections for sound and better simulated occlusion, leading to a more realistic experience when trying to locate targets. Audio will also sound different when behind an open or closed door or when behind a window depending on if it is broken or not. New distance layers for gunshots. Allows for a nicer transition as enemies get closer while shooting. New OSTs added, plenty of new soundtracks for your listening pleasure. Hospital, Coyote, Streamer, Importer, Sins, Gas, Farm, Beachfront, Valley/Dealer/Penthouse have all been updated so their OSTs are more dynamic. All levels, old and new, have received improvements to their sound design. 13 uniquely voiced studio quality voice lines for different tactical officers operating in the LSPD. Fully added all remaining voice lines for key characters across each level with over 50,000 voice lines across more than 120 characters. Weapons. new MCX assault rifle, new LVAR assault rifle, new F90 assault rifle, new Superb Nova shotgun, new UMP9 SMG, new TLE 1911 pistol, new TPL less lethal launcher, new X2 taser, overhauled 870 MCS breaching shotgun, overhauled UMP 45 SMG, overhauled M45A1 pistol, overhauled MPX SMG, added MK18 training version for tutorial level, added G19 training version for tutorial level. User interface and experience. New main menu presentation, new settings menu presentation, customization and loadout screen overhauled, pause menu overhauled, mod.io changed to use a native explorer which has more options, added support for subtitles, colorblind options for Protanopia, Deuteranopia, and Triternopia. Item highlight. Item highlights can be enabled for an easier time when finding evidence. New language support for in-game texts. English, Chinese simplified, German, Spanish, French, New Zealand, Kiwi dialect. New levels breakdown. Elephant, an active shooter mission at a college campus. Rust Belt, a raid set on the border of Los Sueños and Tijuana. Sins, a high-stakes hostage situation in the upper floors of an old hotel. Streamer, a hostage situation occurring in an apartment complex. Beachfront, a warrant service on a house near Los Sueños coastline. Training, an introductory space to players new to Ready or Not or who need a refresher. Station has been completely recreated from the ground up. It includes new spaces, such as an improved training area, shooting range with working targets, evidence room, and minigame. Station will progressively change as you complete Commander Mode missions. Carriers of the Vine has been completely recreated from the ground up, raid a cultist compound and uncover its secrets. Hide and Seek has been completely recreated from the ground up, go head-to-head against a large international criminal operation. Buy Cheap, Buy Twice has been recreated almost entirely. Level design across all levels has been improved, fixing holes in walls and navigation for AI, which would lead to players being shot through walls and floors. Similarly, navigation through some areas has been adjusted so that it becomes more obvious where players need to go. Improvements. If you are running mods, there will be a new safe launch option in case any existing mods are crashing the game. Overhauled all suspect and civilian AI. Suspects make less noise upon hearing the player, opting to try and surprise players. Suspect repositioning in combat to take up unexpected angles or corners of rooms. Civilians surrendering more easily, and occasionally surrendering when suspects are within sight. More sensible changes to decision-making when it comes to surrendering, fake surrendering, fleeing, and initiating combat. AI flinching reactions have been improved. AI can still return fire and move while lightly flinching, and can move while heavy flinches are playing, but cannot return fire. Many levels have received a pass on their optimization, which should result in a solid FPS on most hardware. Other optimizations include: game size has been slashed in half from almost 100 gig to 60 gig. Improved settings efficacy. View distance will now call objects correctly. This is still a work in progress, but there are some improvements made. Dynamic shadow improvements and reduction. Reduce the number of dynamic shadows on some levels, and where appropriate, change these to spotlights, which are generally more ideal for performance. Many levels have received a large visibility calling pass to improve FPS in areas that are dense with meshes. Ammunition overhaul. Ammunition has been updated for all weapons, and numerous bugs have been obliterated in the wake of the new set of changes. Slug rounds for shotguns will now penetrate most surfaces, as well as up to level 3 armor. They will also ricochet more. Buckshot and some other rounds will have a chance to severely dismember targets. Some rounds will now have a higher chance of causing arterial bleeds. Fixed issues where some weapons had the wrong ammunition tag. Rebalance the damage and armor penetration for each ammunition type to make them more logically consistent and each round more uniquely purposed. Armor improvements. Armor is now more consistent in gameplay. Incoming rounds will be blocked based on the direction the player is facing, not their 3D model. Ceramic now has higher durability, but it can still break and lose effectiveness with repeated impacts. Penetration overhaul. We now have made several significant improvements, including: bullets will do less damage depending on the amount of energy left in the round. Flesh is now less easy to penetrate, so JHP rounds are more likely to function as intended. Shooting an enemy through 2 legs used to do the same amount of damage as the bullet made 2 different impacts on the same target. Now it will do reduced damage on the second and third hit. A large number of bugs related to penetration have now been resolved, as well as several large oversights to do with materials that could not be penetrated. The loadout menu has been overhauled. Ready Up is now done through pressing Y by default. Players no longer need to stand in a specific area and can be anywhere in the station when readying up. A majority will start the countdown timer. If all players ready up, the timer will cut down to 10 seconds before starting. Improvements have been made to chemical agents. AI will attempt to flee areas that are affected by OC. AI will stumble and move away from OC when hit by it. Suspects that are pepper sprayed can still shoot you, but are blinded. CS gas will seep out of open doorways and around corners. Use of Force Continuum, aka ROE in game, has been made more lenient for hostile situations. Those are the major changes and updates for Ready or Not, the 1.0 release. Available now.